You're listening to Guts and Grind with Siju and Sajan, making the real estate journey accessible to anyone.
All right, guys, we're back with Guts and Grind, episode 28. 28. Can't believe it. So this is about getting your money straight. This is a whole new series this season that we're doing it. My name is Siju Koshi, and I'm joined by Sajan Abraham, my co-host, and it's all about getting your money straight. So we're talking about getting your first investment property, and if you don't have your money straight, there's no way you can invest your money, right? So if you have no money, you can't invest it. And so one of the first steps you have to kind of take is just investing basics or getting your money and your foundations in order. And if you can't manage your own bills and primary, home, then it's hard for you to manage another investment home. So one of the things that Saj and I like to do is build a system, right? So build a system for your money where you know that every dollar that you have is accounted for. You know where every dollar is going. Whether it's slicing and dicing your accounts into small manageable accounts, meaning bills, savings, vacation funds, whatever it is, I think you need to have a solid structure on how your money is being handled. And that's how you at least get the ball rolling to get in a position to where you can actually invest your money.
Right, for sure. Just to piggyback on what Siju was saying, like if you're trying to get into that investment world or like what we do, like doing real estate, the best test ground is your own personal finances. And if you could like tone it in and like make it really tight as far as like how you operate your cash flow. Just when I say cash flow, I mean like you have a 9-to-5 job, you have income, and the income goes somewhere, and then you spend it in various places. And if you could hone in and like figure out like what's the best way for me to operate, that's going to be a huge launching board for you to be able to be very successful when you're in real estate, because organization is very key. Sid was saying that you need to get your money in order. And so just to have a tangible thing, here's what I do. I have 4 different accounts. This is for our personal accounts, but I have 4 different accounts. There's a master account, a tithe account, a long-term savings, and a short-term savings. And so it's kind of our income comes into the master account, and then the master account feeds all these other accounts allocated to what I've allocated for it, right? And so the tithe gets its money, long-term, short-term, they all get it. Tithing, of course, is for tithing, like for church and things like that. Long-term savings is meant only to be spent for investments, like big purchases, like rental properties and things of that nature. Or if we're moving and we need a down payment, we're saving up in that long-term savings. Short-term savings is for like car repairs or Christmas presents or vacations or things like that, right? So it kind of, and this is not like a absolute rule, but it's like a general rule. So I know like we've allocated money for these things. If you don't have those kind of pockets and everything's just in one account, it's hard to keep track of what's, how much can I afford on this trip, or how much can I afford for a new car, or how much do I have saved up for this house, right? And so it helps me to be able to visually see that stuff. So I'm really big on systems. And so I like to build that system. So I'm automatically paying myself when I have these systems, right? Like the income comes in, whatever's after all the other accounts are paid for, whatever's left in the master account is what I use to pay my bills, like the utility bill or the credit card bill or whatever it might be, right? And so I would highly advise you to like take a step back, look at your finances, and kind of just see where you stand. What can I do to build systems so that way I know that in X amount of time, I'll have this much saved up and I can move forward on my plans to purchase a rental property.
Yeah, and great point. And I like how you mentioned that, use your personal home or your personal finances as a testing bed, because that's what will basically tell you if you can manage something else outside of that, right? You got to slowly take those hits, right? Like, you can manage your one house, then boom, you start with another investment property, you can manage 2. And then it's all about systems. And that's actually, routines are good for humans in general. And that applies to everything, I believe. There's a saying that, everybody should know, which is, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, Right. So if you don't have something structured, I think it's going to be very difficult. And I need that. And obviously, you and I have talked a lot about this. And I think that's the foundation of where you go. I mean, if you don't even choose to invest in anything, I think at least get your money right, get out of debt. I think that's very key. If you're in debt, you obviously can't invest because you have no money to grow, right? And so you want to get out of bad debt. I mean, there's good and bad debt. I mean, we did a whole episode on that too. Talking about, a car is bad debt, right? People may think it's a great investment to have $100,000 car, but that thing is depreciating faster than anything on this world right now. So yeah, bad debt, get out of it. Credit card debts, get out of it. And get a savings that you have enough that where you can actually feel comfortable to actually put it into an investment property. Any thoughts on that, Saj?
Yeah. So like, just to have like a hard definition of bad debt and good debt. If the debt is not making you money, it's bad debt. That's my definition. Like, I don't know if that's a real definition, but in my mind, if that debt is not making me money, it's bad debt. My car is not making me money. My credit card bills, like the clothes I buy or whatever, it's not making me money, right? It's just something I'm enjoying. And I'm not saying don't enjoy things, but allocate your money properly and kill off the bad debt. And if you have a rental property, that's a debt, right? That's a big debt. But if it's generating money for you, that's good. That's a good debt, right? So if my expenses are less than the income that's coming, then I'm earning money, right? It's still a debt, but I'm earning money on that, right? The house you're living in, it's bad debt, right? You're not earning money on the house you're living in. So if you could kill that quicker too, like that's a good thing. That's another story. Like we could talk about that later. But so we need to figure out like what is good, what is bad. And then once you identify what's bad, get that out of your life. Get that thing out of your way, so that way you could really succeed and grow. And again, if you don't end up investing in properties or investing at all, you'll never look back and say, oh, why did I save up all this money? Because you'll use it for something, right? But if you build the systems, it gives you the ability to do it. So yeah, that's my little add on to that.
No, that was good. I think that hits home. And just to recap, to get in a mindset of investing, you have to get your money right. Have to get the structured, solid foundation of, hey, where every dollar is. I hope you guys are accounting for everything. It's a hard thing to do. You kind of have to do a lot of work up front to kind of get it going. But then after it's automated, you have your bank accounts automatically going into certain accounts and building up your savings. Get yourself out of that bad debt, as Sajan said, things that are not paying you money, get out of it. And that'll set you up for investing your money and getting into this journey of real estate investing or whatever investing you want to do. If it's stock market investing, just get out of debt. I think this is one of the most important episodes when it comes to that. So with that said, let's wrap up. This was episode 28. Thanks for joining. And if you guys have any comments, as always, feel free to definitely comment on the platforms of YouTube, Facebook, wherever we actually have these things posted. And we'd like to hear from you. How are you managing your money? Is there a way that maybe we're not managing it right in a certain way? So
right. Yeah. Like Siju was saying, like, we want to hear from you guys too, because like, we're still learning. I know we're sharing our thoughts and everything, but we want to hear from you guys so that way we can learn and grow as well. If we're missing the mark somewhere, let us know. If you have any questions, let us know. Like we'll search and look and see what we could do to answer any questions and really just to gain more knowledge from you guys as well. So please share, please comment. And thanks for watching.
Yeah, and subscribe to the channel. We have a bunch of episodes coming. It's going to be super insightful. We're going to share a lot of experiences. So subscribe and hit that notification bell too, so you'll know when the new episodes come out. So with that said, we'll catch you on the next episode. Take care.
Thanks for listening to Guts and Grind with Siju and Sajan. Be sure to tune in next time.